What I wanted to present today very briefly is the concept that we have proposed from Elsira and the A4NH on the concept of a global research network at this forum last year. We call this the Agriculture, Nutrition and Health Academy, and I'm here to report progress on that front and as well as to launch the academy. All of us in this room or watching this are keenly are aware of the grim statistics of undernutrition. We know that 1 in 4 children are globally stunted. We know how many kids are and women and men are micronutrient deficient. But what is different from in the discussion around agriculture, nutrition, and health in the last 2 to 3 years is the prominence of the prominent emergence of nutrition-related chronic diseases as a focus in low and middle income countries. Now we have a better appreciation of that 80% of all non-chronic disease deaths actually do happen in low and middle income countries. So as a result of which many countries now must address the problem of both undernutrition, both macro and micronutrient undernutrition, as well as nutrition-related chronic diseases. We all, again, are aware of the economic benefits and the moral arguments for improving nutrition status of populations. But what we are also increasingly posed with, and that came up today in Alan's talk about the emergence of and a focus on issues of sustainability. While agriculture and food systems are the key sources of livelihoods, are the key sources of income and nutrients, we also know that agriculture and food systems are responsible for 29% of the greenhouse gas emissions, for example, and are responsible for about 80% of deforestation. That doesn't mean that we stop producing foods or work with food systems. What this means is that we do need to make agriculture food systems more sustainable and at the very least improve their adaptation capacity to climate change, for example. So what I'm here, several actually frameworks have been proposed in the last few years in order to help understanding between agriculture and food systems on one side and nutrition and health outcomes on the other side. For example, we saw the framework by Global Panel on Agriculture and Food Systems. There was an Elsira DFID framework. There was a Tackling Agriculture for Nutrition Disconnect in India framework, and there are several frameworks. But key knowledge gaps remain, and our big question remains as follows. That is, how do we make agriculture food systems healthy as well as sustainable? So the knowledge gaps the knowledge gaps constrain action continue to remain because of the weak evidence on the linkages and heterogeneity of these linkages between agriculture food systems and nutrition and health outcomes. We also have a weak evidence on the policies and programs that could effectively and sustainably tackle malnutrition. Several scoping exercises and reviews of all kinds, comprehensive, systematic, mixed method reviews, all of them show one thing, that we have weak evidence based today on those issues because of the scattered research efforts and with little cross-sectoral and cross-institutional coordination. This gravely limits our progress. Therefore, we proposed the idea of Agriculture, Nutrition and Health Academy. Now, the history of a global research network dates back to 4 years at the Delhi conference on IFPRI conference in Delhi in 2011, with discussions around lots of institutions that came to the conference, and they and discussed a vision for collaborative research network to facilitate sharing, learning, and coordination across disciplines, across continents, and across sectors. The Elsira conference itself has evolved into a bigger event with more visibility, more disciplines represented here, more countries and continents represented here, and this has become a clear sharing platform on this topic. So now the objectives of the academy are, which is basically a global research network on agriculture, nutrition, and health, is to develop robust research concepts, frameworks, methodologies, and metrics to build interdisciplinary research capacity, facilitate learning and sharing, and informing policy and practice. Now, it's great to have a vision, but we do need some funds to make that vision a reality. And we have gone ahead and just done that in the last 2 years since the discussions from the Leveraging Agriculture for Nutrition conference. We went on a fundraising effort, and I'm happy to report, as I did last year, that we have some funds to take this work forward through an initiative called Innovative Metrics and Methods for Agriculture and Nutrition Actions. What IMANA, in short, and hopefully several of you are aware of this, if not, well, the aim of this is to accelerate the development of a robust and coherent scientific evidence base to fill the key gaps that I just alluded to, and which support effective policy and investments in agriculture food systems for improved nutrition. That's a mouthful. But what we have done is to operationalize that aim into 3 work streams. One is through competitive research grants to develop innovative methods and metrics for agriculture and nutrition actions. And the round 1 is closed, and we have awarded 7 grants, or some of them are under negotiation. But happy to note that we had a tremendous response. And the second stream is on postdoctoral fellowships for emerging leaders in agriculture, nutrition, and health research. Again, we have announced these fellowships, and they are on the website, which we will show you just in a few minutes. The third work stream relates to the Agriculture, Nutrition, Health Academy, which is the global research network to facilitate sharing, learning, coordination, and harmonization. So now, what is the academy and how does it look like? We don't want to make it very laborious, very governance-driven, but we want it to function in a way that it works for everybody and meets mutual objectives of your research programs, your research agenda, as well as that of the academies, which is a global idea in general. The founding partners basically are ELSIRA, through IMANA, and A4NH. And the core funding we have is through IMANA. But we have had substantial co-funding from A4NH. We have had series of stakeholder consultations, 5 of them in West Africa, East Africa, South Asia, and yesterday in London, yesterday morning. So, and A4NH has funded several of all these consultations. And we are really hoping to build other collaborative partnerships. We would like to play the initial role of initiating partners, but ideally would like and invite other partners to join in any way that they can. For example, in maybe delivering some of these activities. These are a list of activities we have proposed and we will deliver on, but ideas are welcome on how we can expand this, how better can we deliver these activities, and hopefully many more. So one is the annual conference, which ELSIRA, as Jeff will tell us later, and what we have proposed last year as well is the ELSIRA conference will become bigger into an academy conference, and we perhaps will migrate it to either Africa or South Asia, or rotate it across various continents. We have some technical and policy working groups. I'm happy to talk through them later. If you can come and meet me or something, I don't want to take too much time in going into all the operational details. We hope to facilitate seminars and workshops both online as well as face-to-face. And we really like to have an online platform for sharing resources and knowledge. And yeah, with that, I'm happy to. Well, the membership is currently about individuals working in agriculture, nutrition and health research. Hopefully you have a track record or an interest in this broad interdisciplinary area. We have had a lot of, in all these 5 stakeholder consultations, we have had inputs into the membership itself. We are considering institutional membership and associate membership, but currently we will release the individual working group, individual membership will be open soon. And we would like to engage both creators of methods, metrics, and research in general in the area, as well as the users. So I invite you all to become members of the Agriculture, Nutrition, and Health Academy. And I don't know how to launch things, but I'm happy to announce the launch. And I invite Anna to just show you how to get to the website. So we'll take 2 more minutes. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Anna Mary. I'm the Research Uptake Manager for the MANA program and also the coordinator of the Academy. So I'd like to show you how to access more information about the Academy. So at the moment, this is our website for the IMANA project. So it's also brand new, so I encourage you to take a look. And the Agriculture, Nutrition and Health Academy is for now hosted as part of the IMANA website, but hopefully we will have a separate presence for it. So this is where you can find more information about the Academy, and most importantly, you can join. So we're planning to have a nice button here, but for now, if you go to the bottom, you can access the member registration form, fresh off the press. This form can be filled in under a minute, but we would like to encourage you to spare a few moments to actually fill in some of the information on your disciplinary expertise and also your areas of interest. It's quite a quick job just ticking, but also we would like you to enter information about the projects you're working on, the most recent ones and relevant to agriculture, nutrition and health research, and your publications, because we would like this to become an online directory of people working at the intersection of those sectors, so it will be extremely useful later on. So this is how you can join, and once you are a member, you can log into your profile. So I'm, for the moment, the first and only member, so I'll show you how to log in. It's a test profile. So now I'm logged in. I see my profile. This is what it looks like. I can edit it here. But what we hope will be a useful feature to all of you is that you can search for other members. So for instance, you can look for someone who specializes in health and maybe who does development studies and search. So this is how you come up with me, the one and only member, and you can again look up their profile and you'll be able to contact them via an embedded form. So for now I can't do it because I can't email myself apparently. We hope that this will be an easy process, and we really urge all of you here to join. So 2 years ago, actually, at this very forum, you told us that this is what you wanted, so we've built it for you. And we hope that you'll join as members and you'll continue speaking to us, helping us make this academy work for you. So we'll be here this evening at the networking event and also tomorrow for the whole day. So please speak to myself, to my colleague Sunita, to John, to Amanda sitting over there. We're putting this together, and we're looking forward to your engagement and your ideas and comments on how to make it work. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Very much, yes, yeah. Thank you. I forget how scary this room is when you're at this mic and then you're talking up to people. I just wanted to acknowledge, I mean, I have said IMANA, but I just want to acknowledge, you know, the London School, Tufts, SOAS, and the funding from DFID to have made this happen. And of course, I have mentioned A4NH, but we are hoping to have, if not the logo, several of you contributing in several different ways. And with that, John, may I invite you to say a few words on the journey and looking forward? Yeah.
Thank you. So, as was mentioned, we've had a number of consultations with different people, and I wanted to share with you some of the fruits of those consultations, but also what are their implications for future, even more important. And I want to share those in the sense of who wants to be a part of this, I guess, of what we've learned from that. Why would they want to be a part of it? How it might work, and what they would want to do. And this will be an evolving thing. It's like most modeling. You're hoping it's useful, at least in the beginning, and hopefully it'll get better as we go forward. So why are people interested? Well, as you can see from this meeting, there's a huge interest in the kind of agriculture, nutrition, and health space. And there's also a keen understanding that there's some huge research gaps in there, so there's an important role for research. So the idea of having an agriculture, nutrition, and health research network or consortium or whatever it is, focusing on collaborative research and how we get more synergies in this space, as well as mentoring the next generation, particularly in the South, has a lot of traction and has a lot of appeal to people. Now, people see it in two ways. Agriculture, nutrition, and health is not a discipline. Okay? What it does is it brings together a number of disciplines and then tries to cross boundaries between disciplines. And so people are interested both in strengthening their kind of core research and reaching out to working with people in that, and then the broader space and how they can link up with others and what interesting things they can find and how they can synergize. Now, that gives you a sense of kind of why we're moving ahead with this. Now, who might do it? And you've seen that on the registration form, we're really targeting individuals. Now, we recognize that individuals work in research teams and they work with institutions, but we also recognize that a lot of these movements, they depend on leaders, they depend on key researchers. So it's a combination of key people and those people who are really leaders and them coming to the table, but bringing their research teams, bringing their students, et cetera. And so that's a lot of the concept of who would be involved. And the other thing is that we expect it to leverage a lot of initiatives. So it's leveraging EMANA, as you've seen discussed. It's also leveraging the Agriculture for Nutrition and Health, which is a big research initiative within the CGIAR in this space. And so there's the individual research teams, but we thought it's very important that ELSERA, A4NH, for example, who are kind of boundary spanning pioneers, I guess, in some of this space, are really pushing behind the scenes and trying to support this. But we would recognize other such groups joining us. This is not meant to be exclusive at all. It's really people who are jointly interested in this and working together. So now, one of our assumptions is that there won't be a large central funding pot for the Academy, that this leveraging is going to be important. But our other assumption, and I think it's based a lot on our histories of building these things in the past, is that you can do a lot by leveraging and linking existing initiatives. So for some additional funding, you can really move things forward using a lot of the funding we have right now. And so I think this is kind of an important element of how we're doing that and some of the initial leveraging you've heard about, and we would continue with that. Now, finally, I was asked to say a bit about the future, and thinking about what would come out of this or what would come out of this in the next 5 years. One thing I would like is that we have a safe space for people to share ideas, to get feedback from each other. So we have this network of trust where people can share ideas. And I would like us to be able to share crazy ideas, really innovative ideas, many of which will never work, but to be able to share that in a way that we can do that. And I would be disappointed if we couldn't do that. The second thing I would like is that this is something that young researchers really want to be involved with. You know, if I think back to early in my career, which is going back quite a while, in the late 70s, for example, if you think of molecular biology and kind of what happened in that, and there was a meeting every summer that everybody wanted to go to, where there'd be big discussions about the new trends in molecular biology. This is what this meeting should be like, where all the young researchers want to come and they want to talk about these issues with some of us old people. But really, you know, and sharing the kind of enthusiasm and great ideas of youth with kind of some of the experience and wisdom of older people so that we're not constantly reinventing the wheel, I think that would be very exciting. And if we couldn't do that after 5 years, I would be quite disappointed. And the other thing is I would like 3 or 4 initiatives brought together with groups in this network that took some important topics and really developed them and came up with position papers, came up with discussion documents that led to action, that led to policy, that really moved things forward. And I think this Academy could catalyze a lot of those keen ideas, a lot of those initiatives. And if we couldn't do 3 of them in the next 5 years as this developed, I would be very disappointed. So that's what I see for the next 5 years. This is a good start, and I really appreciate Anna and Sunita and others coming together on this and all the consultations we've had. This is a very nice community, and you need nice people to make these things work, and I'm really looking forward to continuing working on this in future. Thank you very much.